Hey guys, welcome back to this series of videos we're doing here on YouTube that are snippets from my membership website, fromthefield.farm. Today, I've got a really interesting video. This is with Eric at Steadfast Farm. He's talking about the packaging that they use on their farm. And this snippet is just a portion of a 40-minute video where Eric talks about all the different types of packaging they use. We cover the whole wash and pack process that they employ at Steadfast, but in this little snippet, we're looking specifically at the boxes that they use. And Eric's branding is totally dialed in. It's very impressive, and it really gives them a strong presence at the restaurant and other types of market streams they deliver to. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna find a ton of value in this video. And if you like this kind of content, head over to fromthefield.farm and check it out. We've got a lot of content on this website. Each week I'm publishing around at least 2 hours of content. I do a featured video that is similar to what you're seeing here, but this is just a snippet. I do a Q&A podcast where members send me questions and I answer those in the form of a podcast. And I also publish subject-based videos that are maybe just little edits of longer form videos that get right to the point on something specific. And so that's what I do each week. We have a forum in the website that has an incredible group of people who are just interested in the content and the ideas and the subject matter, and they're sharing all kinds of stuff. It's a really great community. There's no haters or trolls in there. It's just people that are focused on the information. So it's a high quality group. And I would encourage you to join us. If you're seeing this video within the time that it's published, anywhere between April 5th and 19th, the membership is open to new members, and I only open it 4 times a year for about 2-week intervals. And so if you're seeing this video around that time, it is time to join up. And so if you like this stuff, join us at fromthefield.farm. I'd hope to see you in there. Enjoy this video.
So I'm just going to talk about real quick about our boxes, our labels, and like how we pack the wholesale orders. Like we're just going to do greens cases. So we had our boxes custom made by a local box company, and it took a while. It's expensive to make your own, but what we're finding is that what was out there with like international paper and that, you have to buy like crazy amounts, and it's just really, really expensive. So this local company was willing to kind of work with us, and so we had this custom die cut plate made, and some printing plates and all that. But originally we just started with this as a generic plain box with no printing because we couldn't afford to do this kind of stuff. And we just bought a stamp, and we would stamp the boxes just to make them a little bit more personalized. And we did that for almost 2 years until we got really tired of stamping boxes. So then we invested in the printing plate like that. But these are basic, I think 225-pound weight cardboard. So super simple, not wax. So they're more recyclable. And we found that if we teach and train our wholesale customers, our CSA members, how to care for them, then they'll last. And we would actually get 5-6 uses out of a single box if we got them back. And so, so going to these guys, so and you can see when you see there's 3 labels already on this one. So this has already been, we're about to use it 4 times. Same thing on this one. So that's how we can kind of track that we actually are using it multiple times. So when we designed the printing plate for this, and we're actually getting ready to design a 2.0 of this and make some adjustments, we tried to think of like keeping it simple and clean, but also talking about like things that were helpful to the folks. So Kyle, will you give me a brand new box? So obviously putting your logo on it is helpful. If you use blank boxes, you're probably never gonna get them back. Even if the restaurant saves them for you, another farm's gonna grab them and use them for themselves. So we found that.
So that's what I did for years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So did we. We were dumpster diving, and the recycled cardboard thing at the back of grocery stores getting boxes. what you do. So put that on there. Some stuff, as far as our logo on the top, and then we put it on the very top of the box, please return box, right? So we're trying to train people to remember to do that. And then we also started putting directions on how to open and close boxes, because the restaurant move for boxes, or chefs or cooks, they get them in like this and they do this, right? And so all that gets torn usually. We lucked out, but it's, or that happens. So, but I would go in there, deliver, and they'd be excited to get our product. And I think thought they were like being nice by opening in front of me to show me their excitement. And they would just tear the boxes. And I'd just be like, ugh. So anyway, putting instructions on there. So we've got it on the bottom, squeeze to open. So when they're breaking them down, and then on top for that too. So simple little things like that. We also added a little square, and that's for us internally, because we're putting labels on, and when there was nothing there, it was like throwing darts. And so we're still not we don't want to spend so much time being exactly perfect, but adding a little target makes it just a little cleaner as we throw those on there. So we can just take our label and we just, and so super, super simple. So every box has a label. If it's a CSA box, it's a different label, but it's the same footprint, 4x4. It'll tell people, it'll say CSA, it'll say what's in the box, it'll say which week it is, and then there's a spot for the people's name and check boxes if they got flowers and eggs in addition. So super simple, but this is our wholesale label. So it has the customer's name, the contents of the box, box quantity, pack date, and packed by. And then down below, please don't throw away this box. We reuse them. Again, trying to remind people. So this label itself for wholesale it's had many revisions, and there's been a lot of feedback from chefs on this. So we've always had, like, obviously customer name and some minor information, but then we started hearing from chefs, we'd like to know what's in the box, so that they're not searching through all the different boxes for something specific. So if we're doing 1 or 2, maybe even 3 items in a box, we'll try to fit that all on one. If it's more than that, which happens sometimes, we just put mixed on there, but it'll say like seasonal mix on here. And then box quantity. So this one's blank right now because they don't know. So when you're doing deliveries and you're doing a lot of deliveries, you fill that van or that trailer full of tons of boxes, and things can move around. Whoever's delivering is pulling out boxes. They think they have everything. They put it in there. They move on. Then they find another box later in the route that they forgot to drop off. So this just tells them how many boxes to count to make sure they have them all. Makes sense? Pack date, that was another request from the chefs. We might be delivering salad mix twice a week for some folks, and they want to be able to then prioritize which ones they're using first. So that's pretty simple. And then packed by, that's for us internally. So we're initialing the boxes if we're the ones packing them. So Kyle initialed this here. So that's primarily if there's a problem, we can then go back and make sure that we're talking to the right people, so we fix whatever issues there were. So that's the boxes. Any questions on those?
Are you gonna have to remove organic from all your stuff now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they already started to.
Yeah, we've already started to. So
Can't you say organic? You could just not certified organic?
it's a gray area.
Not in writing, typically.
Well, this, I think it is gray enough that we could get away with it, but we kind of feel like we're a target because we've basically told them we're out.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to make life
inspector's
difficult for us. So we're not saying certified organic, we're saying honest organic, and yeah. So we're just not willing to risk it. Yeah. So yeah, we're switching up a minor brand switch just to make sure that it's very, very clear. But that's part of that 2.0 is a good excuse. It's still, by redesigning the box, it's still cheaper than paying the certification. So, what was I going to say? Yeah.
How many do you have to buy though? How many did you have to buy?
We buy a pallet at a time, and can I say that we're looking at, because we've had a lot of interest from farmers saying, how can we get your boxes and that. And so we're trying to figure out if there's a way that we can offer a box service to farmers where you can either buy generic or custom boxes in smaller quantities at a reasonable rate, and we can ship them all over. So we're talking, Curtis and Diego and I are trying to figure out if it makes sense or not, obviously.
Because he spent a ton of money on making the die cut, right? Because to go, you guys might say, well, I can go do that, but yeah, right, go and do it, and you'll see it's not cheap. So if you could just buy them from him, and
How did you determine the size of the box? And then
Yeah. As far as the box size, I mean, we started with boxes that somebody else was making to kind of pick and choose the things that we liked about it. And so this, I forget the bushel size because I don't deal in bushels, but this is kind of a basic size. And we actually have technically we have 3 size boxes that we've invested in. So this one, which, folds up.
and you fit 5 pounds of greens in that, right?
4 pounds.
4 pounds.
4 pounds. And most big farms are selling a slightly smaller box and selling a 3-pound case is like the industry standard for greens. So we didn't want to have a special box for that. So this is a 4-pound box. So we have this size, and then we actually already own the plates for a box that's twice as tall, but the same exact footprint. So you can just double that up, and it's not double the cost, so it makes sense for certain products. And then we even have a lettuce case for like the big. We used to do a lot of romaine, and you needed a really big box, which we haven't bought those in a long, long time. So we have those 3. We'll probably focus on the 2, this one and then the one that's double the size. And I'm tweaking a design because there's tomato flats. We need them oftentimes, and they're just always wonky sizes. So we're in the process of designing a box that's the same footprint as this, but a tomato flat.
Oh, perfect.
So then they all
you can fit
stack.
10 pounds of tomatoes in there or something.
Yeah, because we wanted them all to be uniform and stacked
That's a great
easily.
idea.
So anyway, that's kind of what we're working on as far as that goes. But again, it's a pretty simple, just plain cardboard. We don't need to do the wax nonsense. And then what makes them last is using a box liner, which is a food safety thing anyways, like putting stuff right in there. It's going to fall through the holes. There's just a lot of issues. So we have another local company that we get these bags from. They're a vented bag, so you see all the little holes in them. So it's not totally sealed up, but they're a gusseted bag, and they fit perfectly in these boxes. So they lay flat on the bottom, and we can still roll it over the top to pack them.
And so you guys, I know you're not doing your CSA right now, but when you do, you pack your CSA into those boxes too, right?
Correct, yep, same boxes for everything.
And when you guys are doing that, is sort of one person doing that and laying out a bunch of empty boxes, and then the next person's coming in with this item and dropping it all in them, so on and so forth?
Exactly, yeah,
Okay.
CSA starts next week, but yeah, so we'll make, we capped our CSA a little bit smaller this year because we're in this transition. We're just trying to give ourselves a little breathing room. So we did 75 total shares, some of which are bi-weekly or every other week. Some of them are weekly. So it works out to be 50 a week because of that split of that. And so yeah, we package CSA twice a week for Thursday delivery and for Saturday delivery. So we'll do it on Wednesday and Friday. We'll pack those boxes. And so we'll make all the boxes ahead of time. We'll put the bags in them, and then we'll just have them all stacked up. And then we create an assembly line on these tables, or we even use a sink sometimes, and we'll lay out all of the items that we're putting in the boxes. And we use these carts, and we just put 2 boxes on a cart, and one person goes down the line, and they're just pulling from that. And it's, instead of walking around with a box and trying to figure that out, or grabbing the item and going around to 50 boxes and putting it in, there are just too many times where you missed it, you forgot one or something like that. So this is just down the line, nice and simple. It goes to the end, close it up. We've got the stack of labels, put those on really easy. So.
What's the actual dimensions of that box? Roughly?
That by that, roughly. I'll get you a tape measure. Yeah, we have it written down. Yeah, something like that. So anyways, so those liners go in there like that. And then again, these are those same moisture papers, right? And we get a big box of them. They're pretty cheap if you break it out, but they've got the holes in it too. And then if we're doing, like if we were packing greens and they're a little wetter than we'd like them to be, we'd put one on the bottom and then one on the top. Most of the time, everything's good moisture, so it's just on the top. And you'll see it kind of seals up that last little gap up here. Do we have some greens? Cool. So these are the labels we use. Thermal transfer, print. We can talk about that if there's interest, but so. A lot of people ask about which scales to use and things like that. I'm a big fan of like the Toray, like stainless steel, $300 scales. But over the years, I've like gone through so many of them and they're so expensive that we started finding these ACSR Chinese scales. And I think we get like 3 of them for $100 or something like that. They have a battery in there so we can take them to market. They are disposable in a sense, but everything we use is, it seems. So anyway, so we just tear the box. And I wouldn't do it up on this table. Obviously, the ergonomics aren't great, but just so you guys can all see. No.
These are the ones we tried yesterday.
Yep. No, they feel perfect. Yeah. So so we're just slightly over 4 pounds. We never go under. We're always willing to go a little bit over. Yeah. So anyways, and so if you see, it's nice and heaping. It's gonna settle. See, it's already settling like so. That goes right over the top.
Was there one of those in the bottom too?
We didn't put one in the bottom, I don't think. So if it was wet, we would do that. So see how that paper is like the exact size of the box too? So then we just take this up like that, fold it that way, fold it that way, and then if we didn't have that, yeah. So just a nice 4-pound case ready to go. So it's really, really nice. So, and same thing, if it was roots or whatever, we're gonna pack it in the same way. We can mix, as you're packing multiple items, be thinking what's heavy, what's gonna be the most bruised. And so you're gonna pack like your heavy roots on the bottom and then you can put some collard greens or something on top and not have to worry about it getting crushed, but you don't wanna put that stuff on the bottom, right? Just simple things like that.
How do you do those? Are they in a normal crate or is it an open?